Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. The sharp clink of metal against leather jolted me awake in the middle of folding his golf clubs into the trunk. It was a sound that had always been so mundane, so ordinary. But that morning it was like a warning bell I couldn't ignore. I froze, my hand hovering over the bag zipper, heart thundering. I should have stopped myself, walked away, pretended I was busy, but something inside me, curiosity, suspicion, the gnawing sense that something was off, pushed me forward. Inside the bag, buried beneath the neatly folded polos and golf gloves, was a slim black phone I didn't recognize. My stomach dropped. His phone. His other phone. I held it in trembling hands, staring at it as if it might bite me. I had always trusted him. 15 years of marriage, 15 years of believing our love was enough, that our honesty was absolute. And yet here it was, mocking me, a physical embodiment of secrets I had never imagined. I powered it on, my fingers slick with sweat, heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped animal. The home screen lit up, and there it was, a single photo that made the air in the garage turn thick and choking. Another woman, wearing my necklace. My necklace. The delicate gold chain with the tiny heart pendant I had given him on our 10th anniversary. She wore it with a smirk that seemed to taunt me across time and space. The sound of my own breath became deafening. I wanted to throw the phone, smash it, erase it, but I couldn't. I needed to see, to confirm, to understand how the life I had built had quietly splintered around me. Swiping through the gallery, I found messages, flirty at first, playful. Then something heavier, more intimate. Names, dates, references to dinners, weekends, golf trips. My stomach knotted. Every fiber of my being screamed, "This is real." I remember sitting on the garage floor, clutching that phone, trying to breathe, trying to deny it. Maybe it's innocent. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Maybe they're just friends. But even as I whispered those words to myself, I felt the fragile veil of trust unravel. My mind raced through years of small oddities, the slightly secretive smile when he got texts, the late-night calls he insisted were work, the sudden interest in weekend golf tournaments I didn't attend. I had brushed them off. I had rationalized them. And now the truth was staring me in the face. He came home later that morning, humming some tune I didn't recognize. The smell of his cologne mixed with the lingering dampness of the early winter air, familiar and comforting, and yet I recoiled. My voice caught before I could speak. "Who's she?" I asked finally, holding the phone out to him like a weapon. He froze, eyes widening, and for the first time in 15 years, I saw fear there. I can explain," he started, but his words were weak, fumbling, falling short of meaning. "Explain." I laughed, though it was hollow, broken. "Explain how my necklace ended up on another woman. How you had a second phone hidden in your golf bag." He swallowed hard, eyes darting to the floor. I didn't mean. It wasn't." I shook my head, tears blurring my vision. Anger, betrayal, heartbreak, confusion. It all collided inside me like a storm I couldn't contain. "Not meant to." I whispered, voice breaking. 15 years, and it wasn't meant to. You've been lying. All this time. Every trip, every late night, every smile you gave me. My chest ached, my voice cracking as I spoke. All lies. He reached for my hand, desperate, pleading, but I pulled back. "Don't touch me," I said. "Not now. Not after this." The apartment felt smaller suddenly, the walls pressing in. The air was heavy with words left unspoken and truths finally exposed. We sat in silence for a long time, the kind of silence that hums in your bones, the kind that stretches minutes into hours. I couldn't look at him without seeing her face, without feeling the jagged edges of betrayal cutting into my heart. And yet, beneath the raw pain, a quiet, trembling part of me still loved him. Still remembered the man who had whispered promises under starlit skies, who had laughed with me until our sides ached, who had held me through grief and joy alike. He began again, voice small, ashamed. "I never wanted to hurt you. I got lost, I guess. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't careful. I'm sorry." But I couldn't forgive him yet. Forgiveness felt like a luxury, a balm I wasn't ready to offer. Instead, I felt a storm of decisions forming, a need to reclaim control of a life that had been quietly eroding. I need time, I said finally. I need space. I need to figure out if any of this can even be fixed. He nodded, relief and guilt mixed in equal measure, but I didn't see relief. I saw a man confronted by the wreckage of his own choices, and I felt a strange, bitter satisfaction in that. Not revenge, exactly, but the acknowledgement that consequences were real. Over the next days, I replayed everything in my mind. Anniversaries, vacations, quiet evenings on the sofa. Every memory now carried a new weight, a shadow of doubt, a fragment of betrayal. I caught myself examining his movements, his tone, his casual laughter, searching for signs I had overlooked. And in that careful, painful observation, I also found a clarity I hadn't expected. I couldn't go back to naive trust. Not now. Not ever. When he tried to talk, to justify, to beg for understanding, I listened, polite but distant. My love was still there, buried beneath layers of hurt and disbelief, but it was tempered by something sharper, a protective self-awareness. I wasn't the same woman who had found that phone. I was someone who had glimpsed the fragility of trust, who had learned the terrible cost of deception. Finally, after a week of tense, uneasy coexistence, I made my choice. I packed a small bag, not for leaving, not yet, but for the first time, for myself. I needed to reclaim my boundaries, my dignity, my identity outside of the betrayal. I left a note on the kitchen counter. We need to talk. I need space. I love myself enough to demand honesty. As I stepped out into the crisp morning air, the weight of the house behind me felt lighter, the smell of winter sharp and invigorating. I wasn't healed, not yet. I wasn't whole. But I was moving. And that, in itself, was a kind of triumph. 15 years of trust had been broken, yes. But 15 years of resilience, self-knowledge, and love for myself were still intact. I would rebuild, and I would demand honesty and respect in whatever came next. And maybe, one day, I would forgive, not for him, but for me, to close this chapter fully, to reclaim the life that had almost been stolen by deceit.